How you doing today? My name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. If you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening and sharing links to this show. And I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, we're just going to talk off the cuff, whatever is on our mind today. So we'll be right back with a message. Hi, my name is Dave with The Last Podcast. Have you ever heard of Impact Health Sharing? Impact Health Sharing is an affordable alternative to traditional health insurance. Impact is a caring community of people who share in each other's medical bills, and is for anyone interested in sharing, acting responsibly together, and saving on healthcare. For more information, click on the link in the show notes that reads Impact Health Sharing. This is David with The Last Podcast. We'll see you soon. Okay, so today I just want to talk about how a message or how something can just upset your day. I mean, have you ever been told something before and it just really got to the core and just started destroying you from the inside for a few minutes or even maybe a couple of hours? Have that ever happened to you? Well, it's happened to me. And what do? I mean, sometimes I know there are some people who are probably they'll let that feeling linger and they'll chew into it. The idea, whatever it is that was bothering them, they'll gnaw on it for a good while, and eventually it just starts to take a life of its own and just start, causing more havoc than it really should. Has that ever happened to you? Well, I hate that. I hate being told something or let in on something and it just gets to the core of my being. And I realize in this stage in life, I have to let things go. I mean, sure, I'm angry. Sure, it might have upset me to no end, but I realize I have a choice. Being angry is a choice. That's like you can stay angry. You can choose to stay angry. Or you can choose to say, I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm not letting this destroy the rest of my day. I had some news and I gnawed on it for maybe an hour and a half. And I realized, wow, I'm starting to feel sick. And I realized that stress I just didn't need. So I had to actually say, so what is it that I can change? I mean, the outcome I cannot change. I have no authority over the outcome. So I just have to accept and live with it, right? That's basically sometimes what we have to do. But for our own sanity, I think sometimes we have to let it completely go. And I don't know about you out there, but for me, I realize I can't let stuff linger too long. It just bothers me. So if I get some negative information, I'm going to assess it. I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to look at the options or my options that I might have. Like, what could I do? Could I change this outcome, or what could I do to make things a little bit better for everybody, or what could I change that may not affect my feelings and health to a degree where I feel like I'm getting sick. So I have to realize I got to let stuff go, and I have to let the Lord fight my battles. And I'm not a big religious person. I like to read the Bible every day. I pray every day. I don't go to church too often, but I read the Bible and I talk to the Lord and I pray every day and night. So I'm not a spiritual fanatic, but I believe to a degree where I want Christ, I want God in my life. So if I choose not to gnaw on a negative deal, I choose not to gnaw on that because I don't want that to destroy the rest of my day. And let's face it, I don't know about you, but I prefer peace of mind over anarchy. I prefer solitude instead of chaos. I prefer peace of mind. That's it. All that other stuff, I just want to let it go. I remember when I was a whole lot younger, maybe 40, even, I would say about 40 years ago. I would debate you on anything. Now, it's, to me, debate is not worth it unless I find a cause that I super believe in and can't let go. But at this time in my life, I realized, I don't need the hassle. If something is going to bring my health down, something's going to bring my countenance down, something is just going to change my mood to the point where it disturbs my health, I don't need that. What about you? Are you able to let things go? Or do you hold a grudge? Or do you hold on to things for a long period of time? Me, I don't want to do that. I rather, let bygones be bygones. And hey, I've learned a lesson. And this person, I've learned, hey, if that person, let's say, for instance, if somebody owed you like, $100, and they decided not to pay you back, that person just paid you $100 to never bother you again. I mean, you could look at it like that, but yes, it's the principle. They still owe you $100, but I'm talking about, will you let that $100 eat at you and gnaw at you and destroy your day or any of your time? No. So me, I like to let things go at this stage of my life. If you do me wrong, I know I don't have to deal with you no more in life. And that's the bottom line. If I do you wrong, I hope that I'm man enough to say I'm sorry. I really don't want to hurt anybody. And if I've said something on any of my shows that offended anybody, I'm definitely sorry, because that's not my goal. My goal is to inspire and uplift, to invoke thought, to make things better. Hopefully that's what I'm able to do. But that's what I got for you today. And you're listening to the last podcast. My name is Dave. And you can hit me up at thelastpodcast443@gmail.com. I love to hear from you, so go ahead and hit me up. Until tomorrow, you guys have a great day.